The American people, through the U.S. Agency for International Development, USAID, fund development and humanitarian assistance around the world through various mechanisms for sustainable partnerships. Strengthening government systems around the world is a key USAID priority and ensures development results can last long beyond any USAID role.
We at USAID are redoubling our focus on locally led development to strengthen long-term sustainability, to reinforce local ownership, and to strengthen national systems, all supporting the decision-making, the plans, and programs of partner governments as they lead and respond to their citizens.
One approach is government-to-government, or G2G agreements, which creates a legally binding agreement that disperses funds from USAID directly to a partner government to achieve mutual development objectives in a given sector. USAID G2G funds go through the partner government's own procurement and financial management systems and other government systems where appropriate. This agreement approach is codified in the agency's operational guidance on working with partner governments called ADS 220. USAID has funded G2G agreements in more than 40 countries, supporting work in education, health, governance, agriculture, and more over the last 10 years.
Dans le cadre de la mise en œuvre du G2G, l'approche bilatérale gouvernement à gouvernement de l'USAID offre à notre pays un meilleur contrôle financier et la possibilité de coordonner donc les programmes de manière plus globale à travers les appuis divers des partenaires techniques et financiers, mais également de renforcer nos systèmes de gestion et processus budgétaires.
Bonjour, je suis le Dr Diop, médecin-chef de la région médicale de Kaffrine, région bénéficiant du financement direct G2G. Je peux vous dire que c'est la région pilote. Alors, l'assistance bilatérale de gouvernement à gouvernement de l'USAID nous permet d'avoir un contrôle total sur les ressources disponibles, tant bien les domaines que les buts de leur utilisation. Cela nous aide à mieux orienter le financement vers ceux qui en ont le besoin et à atteindre les objectifs vraiment de santé qui sont fixés, mais également qui profitent à nos citoyens. Donc nous vous remercions de votre attention et nous saluons encore une fois ce financement direct qui est un financement innovant vraiment pour l'intérêt des populations. Merci.
USAID implements development assistance in a variety of ways, including through contracts, grants, and G2G agreements. Sometimes there is a misperception that G2G is impossible or takes much longer than contracts and grants to put in place. That's not true. USAID's G2G agreements can take a comparable amount of time to design and can ultimately result in a more lasting impact.
Government-to-government programming is fundamentally an approach that requires shared responsibility and decision-making to identify problems, agree upon solutions, and build consensus around action. We refer to this as co-creation between USAID and partner government officials. Together, representatives of both USAID and the partner government decide what will be accomplished, who will do the work, where the work will take place, how the work will be costed or budgeted and monitored, and when it will be carried out. USAID government-to-government assistance can be applied to all sorts of programming across sectors including education and democracy and governance. But we illustrate the co-creation process here with an example in health. All award types require assessment of risks, including the government-to-government approach. The process does not attempt to control or avoid all risks. Rather, it seeks to understand risks in relation to USAID's risk appetite and to mitigate threats and leverage opportunities for success. The USAID G2G assessment looks at budget flows, procurement systems, cash management, internal controls, information technology, potential for fraud, and other areas of risk specific to the intended work. The assessment documents the risks and how to address them. Risks that are identified are scored and prioritized to be addressed based upon their probability and impact on the outcomes. Based on the assessment, USAID and partner governments work together to develop a plan that manages prioritized risks. This plan is then monitored over the life of the government-to-government activity. G2G agreements are negotiated and structured in a variety of ways. Common ones include fixed amount reimbursement agreements, cost reimbursement agreements, or a combination of the two. Under a fixed amount reimbursement agreement, Usaid reimburses a fixed amount for partner governments' completion of an activity or achievement of milestones. For example, Usaid might transfer funds to a partner government when a certain number of children have been immunized. Alternatively, under a cost reimbursement agreement, Usaid reimburses the cost of a partner government for some or all of the expenditures of an activity or product. Using the same immunization example, Usaid might cover a partner government's actual costs for procuring and administering the immunizations. When a government-to-government agreement is ready to be formalized, an implementation letter is signed between the Usaid mission director and the partner government's representatives. This whole process, from start to finish, usually unfolds over 6 months to 1 year.
To be eligible for direct USAID financing, countries must meet certain key governance and human rights requirements that are set by U.S. law. Interested government counterparts can consult with USAID on eligibility requirements for this type of financing. Opening a dialogue between partner government representatives and USAID officials is the best way to explore possibilities.
The government-to-government mechanism is a form of USAID assistance that strengthens and builds national and subnational systems as they better meet the needs of their citizens, reinforcing local ownership, enhancing sustainability, and increasing results through equitable partnerships.